All right, welcome everybody for our hands-on session number 9. It is our third session building out our abandoned cart journey. We've got Amit as our guest builder today, so we'll have him introduce himself in a minute. Let's just talk about what's coming up for the different deep dive sessions for the rest of this series. So there's still 6 more sessions coming up. Tomorrow we've got a session on the resend application, resending journeys, emails and journey builder. Next week, we've got Lucas Lunau. We've got Sufia, who's going to be covering higher education, a bunch of great sessions coming down the road. And then we've got our hands-on sessions like we have today, where you can join in and be a builder within the platform. Next week, we're building an operational journey build. We've got Sandesh doing hands-on sessions the 23rd and the 30th. And then we've even got one that we're going to do on prompt builder. We had a session last week that seemed like it may be a good session to do hands-on just on prompt builder itself. So that'll be the last session on November 6th. Let's talk about abandoned cart journeys, what we're doing and why we're continuing to work on this very important email. It's incredible. It's like the most important email that you can send, because if you're in e-commerce, everyone pretty much abandons a cart. About 75% of subscribers do. And that abandoned cart email, where you're just displaying that cart for them to go back and check out again, can have a conversion rate as high as 20%. So it's probably the #1 performing email in your toolbox. You definitely want to stand that up, especially if you're in the e-commerce space. That's why we're spending a little bit of time standing that up today. So let's talk about what we're going to be building out today. So in our last session, we did a lot of that dynamic personalization in the email itself. We had gotten sort of the first steps of displaying that dynamic cart information in the email. So we're going to have Amit continue with that. We've got the data populated, partially populated. We're now going to go get some more information that's going to be able for us to display the table as you see it there on the right. And then we might just do some light configuration of the table just so that it looks like a table in HTML. Then we're going to move over and complete the journey. So we're going to create 2 different emails, just sort of copy the email 1, email 2. And then we're going to create a journey. We'll extend the journey by doing a decision split. We're going to create a custom attribute to pull in that data from sort of external sources to determine whether Amit should receive 1 or 2 abandoned cart emails. And then we're going to send him through the journey end to end to see how that all works. If we have time, maybe we'll build some test scripts. And then let's just quickly go through this architecture before we dive back in. For those, we've covered this in sessions before. I think it's just helpful just to mention. So the subscriber key and the email address, that is coming through the journey data extension that we had set up 2 sessions ago. That is connected to a universal data extension where we're going to find the data point to determine whether they should receive that abandoned cart email or not. The cart feed and the product feed, this is the data that we were working with last time to populate the data in the abandoned cart email. And then the product feed actually will display the actual product information. So all of this data is going to use to populate the email and be able to send the emails and use it for the journey path and the journey itself. So we'll come back to these data points once we start going back into the email. Okay, last but not least, welcome Amit. If you want to give us a little bit of a background on yourself, your experience with Marketing Cloud.
So hi, I'm Amit, and I'm from Delhi. I have been in marketing automation space for around 5 years. I have worked with different clients, which include L'Oreal, and it has multiple brands like Lancome, Giorgio Armani, YSL, Kiehl's. And recently I finished my work with ANZ. So I have done a lot of campaigns, especially for e-com, banking, insurance companies. So that's my background.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining, Amit. I'm going to stop sharing. We'll have you share your screen and we'll get started.
Thanks, team.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to start back with the email that we were building last session. So if we go into Email Studio, we're going to go find that email. Okay. Okay, so if we go to the Content tab at the top, yeah, and then we're going to navigate to a specific folder where Ogo had set up an email for us. Early for Marketing Cloud, still getting warmed up. So if you go under Email, yeah, and then if you go down to Hands-On, yeah, and then under Journey Builder Bootcamp, and we're going to go to Abandoned Cart Email. Excellent. We'll click into that email. And what we'll do is we're going to edit this email to make some changes. And let's go and preview and test this email. Let's go back to, we'll just review where this email is as far as its functionality. So if you hit preview and test, and then if you click on that blue folder to sort of in the center, yep, we're going to navigate to the data extension so we can see what this part is, this table is doing. So we're going to go to data extensions, yep. And then we're going to scroll down to hands-on, yep. And in the Journey Builder Bootcamp folder, there should be a abandoned cart hands-on, that data extension folder. And then let's select that. Perfect. And let's select the last record on here. This is the record that we had created for Ogo that's entering into the journey. We'll select that and let's hit select. And then let's just scroll down. Let's see what this email is displaying. So we've got her first name that's displaying. We had also built in this functionality to display that message there for new customers if she wasn't a new customer. So that's all working. And then we've got the cart item here, where this was the first part that we had worked through, where we were doing a lookup rows to find, based on her subscriber key, we wanted to output the cart items that she had added to her cart. Now, what we're going to want to do with this data is, now that we have the cart items, we're going to look up, and so that we can, in our table, we want to display 4 columns. 1 is the image itself of the item. 2 is the description of the item. 3, we've got the quantity there, so that's all set. And then the 4th item we want to display is the price, just so that we know what that looks like. So we're going to go into the ampscript for this email, and we're going to go build that logic in order to display that. So Amit, if you scroll up a little bit in this email, we're going to go to this header script block, which I think it's right below the image itself. So if you scroll down a hair, and then if you hover, if you go back to the content tab over there on the left. Yep, sorry, if you go in the content mode. Yeah, and let's just scroll right below the image. Yep, so there's a little empty block. If you go 2 up, 1 more up, there we go. Click into there. In that little, perfect, right there. This is, if you click into that, there we go. This is our ampscript code snippet block, which we had built the lookup rows to display those cart items for this record. So if you could do me a favor, you can see that window, you could widen that window a little bit so we can see a little bit more. Yeah, let's just bring that over to the right, perfect. All right, so let's scroll down through here. The most important part of this coding is the lookup rows logic that we've got going on here. So if you scroll down a little bit, what this is doing, it's taking the subscriber key for this record. It's looking up to this cart feed date extension, and that is determining all of those cart items that are associated with the subscriber. And that's what we saw that we outputted, were those 3 different items and their quantity. So if you scroll down a little bit, we're going to look into that for loop. So the for loop where that, if you scroll up just a hair, yep, that for loop that starts with the for at I all the way down to the next, that's what's doing this logic. It's looking up for Ogo's subscriber key, and it's populating the SKU number that comes from that feed date extension and the quantity itself. So now that we have that data, what we want to do is we want to now look up to another date extension, this date extension that has all of these SKU items that we can pull in all of the information that we need to pull in. So let's duplicate this tab, Amit, and then we're going to go navigate to that date. So if you go to your browser tab, and if you click on where it says email-marketing cloud, the tab at the very top, it might be blocked by Zoom. I think you can move that Zoom bar if it's blocking your browser tabs.
Right.
So are you able to see that email-marketing cloud browser tab? So that, yeah, it'll be the Chrome browser tab. So a little further up. So can you create a new tab?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then let's just paste, we'll go back into Marketing Cloud, and let's just copy that URL, and then you can paste it in that URL. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the data extension that has all of this cart data, all these SKU data information that we're going to be able to populate all these variables. So if we go to the subscribers tab, you're in the email, which is perfect, yep. And then if you go down to data extensions, yep. And then over there on the left, we're going to hit the plus sign just to the left of data extensions. That'll open up that folder. And then we're going to navigate down to hands-on, hit the plus, yep, there, perfect. And then we're going to go to Journey Builder Bootcamp. If you just click on the Journey Builder Bootcamp folder, and then if you click on just the folder Journey Builder Bootcamp itself,
Not this one.
Yeah, that one right there. If you click on that, perfect. Okay, and then what we want is the NTO product feed. See that down there? It's sort of like the 8th one down. Yep, we'll click there. Okay, so what this data extension contains, and if you want to click on the records, it'll be a little bit more, you can see what's in there. This has the SKU number, the item number, basically. And then it's got specific information that we want to pull over. So we want to pull over the product, which talks about what the name is. We want to pull over the price. We want to pull over the image. And the good thing is we have the SKU number, so that now that we know we have the SKU number, we need to do a lookup into this data extension to pull in all of these items. So we're going to use the function called lookup. So Amit, if you just create a new tab in Google, if you just create a new tab, we're going to search in Google itself. Yep. And if you search for lookup ampscript, Perfect. Yep, and we're going to click into that first find, which is the ampscript guide for lookup. Okay, so this function is just similar to lookup rows. It's just lookup, but it's got additional field versus lookup rows. So what these fields are is the first field, just like lookup rows, is the name of the data extension that you want to get this data from, right? So that's going to be that NTO product feed. The second field is the name of the column that you're pulling this value out of that you want to set your variable to. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the column where you know you have that unique field that you can make that lookup relationship. So that'll be like the SKU field in the data extension. And then the last field is the variable that you're doing the lookup to that column to find that row in the data extension. So let's scroll down. We can probably find some code. There's a blue section that usually has a code example, and we'll just copy that for our use. Yeah, so let's copy that lookup right on that. See where it says set at email address, lookup loyalty members. Yeah, let's right there on that. Yeah, right over. We'll copy that entire line. Perfect. Let's copy that entire line. Let's go back to our email tab, and we're going to paste that into our code. Okay, so now what we're going to do is if you, right after on line 22, at the end of line 22, can you do a return? Okay, now let's paste in that code. Okay, fantastic. So the first item that we want to populate some information. Let's call it product. So let's change at email address to at product. This is going to be the description of the item. And then you can just use product. Yeah, perfect. All right, excellent. So let's configure the lookup logic. So the first field, first variable is the name of the data extension that we're doing the lookup to. So if you can navigate back to your tab where that NTO product feed data extension, we're going to copy that data extension. So it's that, yep, it's that tab right there. Yep. So let's just copy the name of that data extension, and you can just copy it. Yep, from there. Or you can use in that space, yeah, right there. You can you can copy that. Perfect. And we'll go back and drop that into the email. So we're going to want to replace the loyalty members, yep, with that NTO product feed. All right, excellent. That's done. The second one variable is what we want to bring back from that data extension, the column that we want to set. So let's go back to that data extension. Let's go find the field in that data extension that represents product, and it looks like it's product. So that's convenient. What we typically do is if you go to the properties tab, you can copy that name product. So if you just highlight it and copy it, I mean, it's straightforward, it's product, but sometimes the variable can be, unique and all that. So let's copy that. And then we're going to paste that into the second variable. Instead of email address, we're going to use product there, but we'll keep it in the quotes. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. All right. And then the third variable is the field that we know that we can find in this data extension that is going to be the identifier for the row. And so yes, it's the SKU that we want to copy. So we know we have a SKU, and that's what's going to allow us to make the match in the data extension. So that'll be our third variable. Perfect. And then the last variable is the SKU number that we've set above to do the lookup. So that's in line 22. If you want to copy that at SKU, just the at SKU variable, you only want the one with the at symbol at the beginning of that line. So yep, that's the one that you want with the at symbol. Yep, perfect. and you'll replace the lookup value. All right, excellent. So there is our first variable. Let's hit return at the end of that line. Yep, no problem. We'll go back into that code. We're going to set the two more variables to that. So if you go back to right there, we'll click in a little bit up, one more up. There we go. We'll click right in there. Perfect. Let's scroll down to line, I think it was line 23. Okay, excellent. So let's hit a return after line 23. Let's hit a return twice, actually. Okay, and let's copy line 23. And we're going to paste that twice. So on line 24 and line 25. Okay. The next variable that we want to set is the image. So we could call that @image. On either one of those, if you want to change, yep, do that one. Perfect.
Image. Okay.
Yep, we can use the same name. Perfect. And then you want to paste that in the second variable on that. And so instead of product, in that, yep, you want to paste that image there. And that's going to pull in that image. And then that's perfect. That's our second variable. And then our last variable is price. So I'll let you do the last one for price. Cool. And it's the one on line 24 is the row that, yep, that's the one. Yep. Perfect. Nicely done. Okay, so excellent. Now what we can do is we can modify line 21 to output this, what we just set for variables to check our work. So in line 27, instead of cart item, let's change that to product. Yep. Cool. And then instead of the AC SKU variable, let's bring over that product variable that you set on line 23. Yep, exactly. That's what we want to output is that variable, and we're going to replace the AC SKU. You know, the customer doesn't need to know the SKU number, well, at least in this example. Okay, now we've got quantity, which is good. Now what we want to do is we want to add the image and the price. So what you want to do is you want to copy, starting at the single quote and quantity, right there, yeah, let's copy all the way over to the right through that comma, perfect. Let's copy that, and then let's paste it right after, yep, right there. And paste it one more time. Perfect. All right, so let's change the second quantity to price. So on line 27, yep, perfect. That one you want to keep. That one's still good for that quant. Well, that's fine. That's good. We'll do price there. And then you want to keep that quantity there. That's fine. You want to change the quantity to the left of price to price. Yep, exactly. Perfect. And then in the very last quantity, let's change that to image for the fourth one. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That one you want to keep. It's the quantity to the right.
Okay.
The one just over to the right. Yep, that one, exactly. Yep, and then you can change that to image. Perfect. All right, let's hit done editing. Let's save this. Nicely done, Amit. And then, oh. Amit might have just left. We will hold on a second, hopefully have him join back, and we'll continue. And yeah, if we had time, we would build out this as a custom table. So what Amit's going to show when he joins is that we're just going to output this as basically rows of data. So pretty simplistic visually. What you might want to do is build into the ampscript the ability to create custom tables to make it look a little bit pretty. So we don't really have time in our session to cover that today. But that would be a good next step. We can also cover that in a different boot camp. We might have an email studio boot camp that's coming. We can cover that in more detail there. Let me just check on Amit and see if he might have had some connection issues. And if not, I can finish where he left off. We'll just give him a minute. There he is.
Apologies, it was disconnected. I will share my screen again.
No problem. And it happens all the time.
And here it goes.
Yeah, so if we go back to your email, I think, which is your last tab there. Is it blocked from the Zoom bar? Okay, cool. So yeah, let's hit done editing and save, and let's preview and see what we've got here for this table.
So let me just quickly
All right.
check. Yes.
Yeah, looks like everything worked. Awesome. Let's hit save though in the upper right hand corner, just in case. To your point, it's good just to save all that. Excellent. And let's preview this. Let's see what we've got for this table. And let's scroll down. Okay, so we've got product, women's fave light LPC full zip. We've got the price, the quantity, and then the image. So this is, and we've got all three rows here, and it is pretty basic, right?
Yep.
This isn't formatted in a table. What we'll probably do is we're going to probably switch over to Journey Builder to build out this journey. And then if we have time at the end, maybe we'll come back and format these to make it look a little bit more like a prettier table. And that's just using HTML and ampscript and all of that. But the key thing is that you've got your data, Amit, and that's the important part. Now it's just formatting it to look right, and we can spend some time doing that later. So let's hit save. Nicely done. And let's go arrow back out of this email. And let's hit the duplicate tab. So if you're on the right of this email, there's a little arrow button over there on the row of the email there, right next to your name, there's a little button So right on the actual row of where the email is. So if you scroll down a little bit, so in the, no problem. In the center part where it says abandoned cart, hands-on email, yep, right above there, there's a little caret button right to the right of your name. A little bit further down, a little bit further down, a little further down, a little further down.
Oh, this one.
Right there. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Sorry.
And click on that. Let's hit duplicate.
Duplicate.
Yeah. And then let's, in the name of this, we'll call it abandoned cart hands-on email 2, because we're going to want to add 2 emails to your journey. So you can delete that naming convention at the end, and we'll just call it, you know, -2. Perfect. And then you can hit save. Okay, so it is pretty basic, right? We've just got 2 different emails now that we can build out the journey with that. Ideally, you'd want to change the subject line. You might want to have different images and all of that. So, but anyways, we've got the basics. So let's, now that we have our emails, let's go into Journey Builder. We're going to build out the rest of this journey. So let's go into Journey Builder. And if you go down to Journey Builder itself, and we're going to just open up the template that we looked at initially, just to sort of as a guide from Salesforce of a really nice abandoned cart template. And then we'll go back to the journey itself. So if you could go to the template tab up there, just to the right of journeys, it's near history. So if you scroll up just a little bit further, a little further up, yep, templates, we'll click there. And let's click on the abandoned cart everyday purchase. Yeah, template. We'll just see what this has. So this is how we started this these hands-on sessions, just taking a look at this abandoned cart. So we've got a 2 email abandoned cart scenario. We've got an API event where they're going to send that email, the cart reminder. And then there's going to be a certain wait time. So let them, you know, to choose that cart might be a day or 2. And then we've got a decision split that says, hey, if they've not purchased, they've not, you know, checked out on their cart, then we're going to send them another email. So this is what we're going to want to add to the journey that we set up. But we want to just sort of come back to this template to take a look at it. It's always good to use the Salesforce Marketing Cloud templates whenever possible. So now that we've taken a look at this, let's go back to the Journeys tab. Yeah, let's click on that. And we're going to go into the folders on the left. So if you scroll down, yeah, if you go to folders, so if you close that, yeah, there we go, that folder section. It doesn't really give you a lot of navigation there. So if you scroll down a little bit, it might show a little bit more of those folders. So if you scroll down on the left, it doesn't let you scroll down on the left. Okay. It doesn't allow that. Okay, so let's try just searching in the journey. So if you type in abandon, there it is. See that abandoned cart hands-on journey? Let's click into that. I believe that's the journey that we're working on with. Okay, so this is the journey that we set up, and it's very simple what we set up because we wanted to just populate records into the journey data extension itself. That's how we're able to test those records to make them work. So we've got that. We've got a decision split, which is handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new version of this journey, and we're going to add the 2 emails. So let's go to that new version button in the upper right-hand corner. Yep. And we're going to create version number 2. So now that opens up all the activities on the left for Journey Builder to add. So let's go over to the left and let's find the email activity. So if you scroll down, Yep, there it is, that email activity. So if you open up that caret to activities, yep. And then if you scroll down just a bit, yeah, that email, we're going to drag that email right after that 3-minute wait step. And actually, let's do it right after the decision split. Sorry, we'll keep that decision split there. Let's just move that just to the right of that decision split. Perfect. Oh, come on.
Can I delete?
You can, if you want to hit cancel, you can move it. Let's try moving it just for the fun of it. Yeah, try just, there you go. Sometimes when it shows a blue outline, try that one more time. There you go. Now you can, so try it one more time. And then let it go.
Yes.
There we go. That's interesting. All right, so let's click into the email itself. We're gonna configure this email. We're gonna select the first email that you had built for the send. All right, and so we're gonna select a message. And yep, we're gonna navigate to that hands-on folder. Yep, and we're gonna go to the Journey Builder Bootcamp. Yep, there you go. And we're gonna select that folder, abandoned cart email. And we're gonna select, we're gonna scroll down to that first email. It should be the one right below it. Perfect, we'll select that one. Excellent, we'll hit summary. Okay, fantastic. So we've just selected that email. Let's go, if you scroll down a little bit in this window, yep, let's click edit on that send classification. This is where you're going to set up the send classification sender profile. Let's click transactional on this. So if you hit where that default commercial is, let's select transactional because it is a transactional email for the most part. And then for the sender profile, let's click into that. We're just going to select, the sender profile, the delivery profile is okay as default or transactional default. Yeah, let's click into there. Now, if you scroll down a bit, let's hit the Cervelo-next sender profile. That should be a generic sender profile that will work in this case. Yeah. And then let's just scroll down a little bit to see if there's anything else that we need on this window. And then you can see it populates the subject line and the pre-header and all that. So that all looks good. Let's hit summary. And let's just scroll down in that window a little bit more. I don't think we're going to need anything else for this setup. So we set the message configuration, delivery options. Typically, you want all subscribers. And then the advanced options, you can include CCs and BCCs and other functionality, but we don't need that there. So let's hit done. And we should be good there. Okay. And then what we're going to want to do is let's add a decision split after that wait step after the email itself. So we're going to go over to the left to the activities section. And if you scroll down to the flow section, so I think it's the section with all the orange characters. So if you scroll down a little bit, yeah, oh, actually, if you open up activities, and if you scroll down a little bit, yeah, let's bring that decision split over past the email and then, yeah, right there, exactly where you want to drop it. Okay, excellent. And then what this is going to be is, like we saw in the template, if they've purchased their email, then they're going to go down a different path. So let's go bring over another email and let's drop it in the remainder path there. So we'll go and grab another email activity. Yep. And we'll drop it in the perfect, right in the remainder path. Right where, whenever you drop it and you see that blue outline, so let's bring one over again. There you go. And then just let it go right there. Awesome. Perfect. Now let's click into that email. We're going to select the email number 2. Yep, and it should be in that folder. Perfect. That's the 2. We'll select that. Summary. And then we'll go configure the send classification and send a profile. And we want that as default. You're going to want to change the send classification first. That will change the sender profile. Yep, no problem. And then let's change that sender profile to the Cervelo next. Whenever you change the send classification, it changes the sender profile. So if you select the sender profile window, yep. And then perfect, let's hit the next one. Yep, perfect, all looks good. We'll hit summary. Oh, you know what? Let's change one thing on here. Let's go to the subject line. And let's, right before we notice, let's put in email to test. Yep. So at the beginning, yep, that's perfect. Yep. Yep, perfect. Yeah, I haven't hit done on that. That's fine. Yeah, if you don't want to, let's type in that email to there, like you had before. And then I think you just have to hit that done button. You might have to go to your
email
in your browser. You might have to reduce the size of your screen just a bit to see that button. There you go. Yeah, no, let's type in that email to. Just so that when you get the email, you'll know that's email to.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's yep. And then if you hit done, there you should be good. Okay, perfect. Let's hit summary.
So Tim, just a question. Here we are updating the subject line. Will it update in the template as well, or it's only in the journey?
Just in the journey. Great question. Yep, just in the journey. Yep. And then we'll hit done. That all looks good. Okay, and then let's hit save. Yep, we'll save all that work. Okay, and then let's go to the decision split. And we're going to configure that decision split. Yep. So let's go to path 1. Let's name that. Yeah, so we're going to go to journey data. We're going to go to the data extension that has this data in it. And we're just going to set this up as a static data source for now. And then we're going to create a custom attribute. Let's go to entry, abandoned cart. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll need to set up a custom attribute to do this. So okay, let's go to one of your other tabs in Chrome. Let's go to the tab that you were using for the data extensions. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the folder that you were in for this data extension, that Journey Builder Bootcamp folder. If you want to click in there, okay, great. So we're going to navigate to this universal data extension at the very near the bottom. See that universal data extension? Yeah. So this is the data extension that we're going to, capture whether, Amit, you are still to be receiving an abandoned cart or not. So if you click on the Records tab, what this has is all of the subscribers who are receiving the abandoned cart emails. It's indicating whether your cart is abandoned or not. So if it has a yes, then it's still in abandoned mode, and we want to send you, the emails. If it's not yes, then we know that you've completed your cart and it's no longer abandoned, and then you can be exited out of the journey not to send the email. So we want to leverage this data extension in the journey itself. And to do that, we want to build a custom attribute that we can use Journey Builder to navigate to this data extension. So to do that, let's go to the blue cloud in the upper left-hand corner, right next to that email. Yep. And we're going to go over to Audience Builder. And then we're going to go to Contact Builder. Yep. Okay. So this flywheel is a depiction of all the different attributes that have been created before. So we're going to create a new attribute. So in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to create attribute group. Yep, you were in the right place. Over there on the right where you were create attribute group. Yep, click there. And let's name this abandoned cart data. And then you can pick an icon. Any icon will do. Perfect, and we'll hit create.
It should have picked this.
Okay, and now we're going to link data extensions to this. Yeah, since we have a data extension that's already created. And then we're going to go to that data extension folder. We're going to navigate to that Journey Builder Bootcamp folder and find that universal data extension. So it should be hands-on. Yep. And Journey Builder Bootcamp. Yep. And if you just click on the Journey Builder Bootcamp, it should be in that folder. Yep. And then if you, it should be, okay, so that universal data extension is not a, actually, if you open up that, yeah, open up that carrot. Let's see, I did see some, and then if you scroll down just a bit, I just want to see. Yeah, there it is, that universal data extension. Let's select that. Okay. Now, so this is the data, we're going to match the, this is an important part of matching the contact key in the journey to the universal data extension. So if you select the contact key on the left, sorry, go ahead.
So Tim, so it's a data mapping.
Correct. Yep. So you want to select contact key. And then you want to select the subscriber key. That is the contact ID. Yep. And that does that match. The upper right-hand corner, that one to many, there's options there. It supposedly doesn't really matter, so you can keep it as one. There should be a one-to-one relationship between the subscriber there and that data. Okay, so let's hit save. And you can hit done. That's just a friendly warning message. Okay, now we've got this attribute that's created. Now we can go back to our journey and we can access this data to determine that journey path. Now we might have to cancel out of this. We might have to just go back in again. Yep, discard changes. Let's just hit save real quick. And you might just need to refresh this screen. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a refresh in order for Journey Builder to see that data. And let's click on the decision split. And we're going to click edit. Yeah.
Do we need to change the name?
Yeah, let's change that to no cart. Yep. And yep. And then we're going to go to that contact data. And right there, abandoned cart data, it's the first one at the top. Yep, and we'll select abandoned cart data, universal data extension. And this is where we're going to do an attribute to attribute comparison. So let's bring over that subscriber key field. We're going to drag that over to the filter criteria. Yep. And let's hit the pencil on that. We're going to check that add an attribute to compare box in the lower left-hand corner. Yep. And now we're going to go over to the left. We're going to go to the home, the little home icon. Right to the left of that universal data extension. Yep, if you click there. Let's go into the journey data. We're going to go into that abandoned cart. Yep, there. Click into there. And then let's drag over the subscriber key, and we're going to drop that into that space to the right. Yes. Perfect. So now we've made the alignment with the subscriber in the journey, with the subscriber in this data extension. So you can hit done there. And let's also go back to that home screen. We're going to click back into contact data. We're going to click onto that abandoned cart data. Yep. We're going to go into that data extension. And then we're going to bring over that abandoned cart field. And then let's hit the pencil. And let's select does not equal to. Let's see what our options are there. Is not equal. And let's type in yes. Perfect. And we'll hit done. We'll hit summary.
So we not need to save it
down there. That's all looks good. The summary will save it. And then in the remainder, instead of remainder, let's change that to still has cart or something like that. Yeah. And let's add another path. Add path. So you see that little button that says plus add path?
Oh, sorry.
Yep. And let's name that one, still has cart. Perfect. Let's go into that edit. We're going to do the same configuration that we just set up. So we're going to go to the contact data. We're going to go to abandoned cart data. We're going to bring over the subscriber key. We're going to click in that pencil. We're going to hit the add to attribute compare. We're going to hit the home button over there on the left. We're going to go to journey data. We're going to, yep, go there. We're going to bring over subscriber key. Perfect. We're going to hit done. We're going to go back to that home screen. We're going to go to contact data. We're going to cart data. We're going to select abandoned cart. And then we're going to have that be equal to yes. Perfect. We're going to hit done. We're going to hit summary. And then let's just change the last path. Instead of it being cart, let's just change it to other. Perfect. Let's hit done.
So team, just a question. So why there is no option to edit in this one?
Because it's a great question. That's just sort of a default path that
Okay.
all other, if you don't meet the criteria, it just kicks it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a good question. Yep.
Yes.
So we can hit done. So that created our another path. So let's move that abandoned cart email 2 up to the second path. Yep. Perfect. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it takes a second. Try that one more time. There we go. It's gonna have that blue outline. So try that one more time. There we go. Let it go there. See how it changed? Yeah. You gotta see it when you. There you go. Right there. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Now let's hit save. And let's change all of those wait steps at the end from 1 day to 1 minute. And let's change that 3-minute wait step to 1 minute at the very beginning. Yeah. We had that set just for 3 minutes just so that you could see the data come in, but just to speed things up. All right, excellent. Let's hit save. Nicely done, Amit. And then we're going to activate this journey. This all looks really good. Let's try hitting activate. Let's see what happens. All right, all looks good. Let's hit activate. And we'll activate. Okay. Now, while that's doing it should activate and give you a, should give a pop-up in a second. There it goes. We can hit return to journey. Okay. And then, Amit, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to send you through the journey. So let me see here. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I've got to send you through the journey, just like we had done in earlier sessions. This is an API events journey. So I've got Postman set up here to send you through the journey. So hopefully you're going to receive both of the emails. So I'm going to just do an off call to authenticate into Marketing Cloud. And then I'm just going to grab this token, weird token, and go into this post call. It's going to paste in this token. And we're going to go back into the body. So I had created a subscriber for you. Here's your subscriber key, and there's your email address. So, and your first name. So I'm just going to hit send. That all looks good. I'm going to stop sharing. And then Amit, if you want to share your screen, we should see your subscriber come into the journey and see it go through the journey path. Okay, and so let's click on that view event results over there on the left in that entry event box. So if you scroll over to the left, and then in that entry, yep, let's click there. Okay, we see someone's coming in the journey, so that all looks good. Let's go, while we're waiting for this, let's go to your other browser tab, and let's go take a look at the date extension. Let's go take a look at you in the date extension. So if we go back to Email Studio, we'll go into the date extension, see. Yeah, if we click on email, go to the date extension in the Journey Builder folder, we should see you as a record in there. And then on the left, if we go under that abandoned cart hands-on folder, under Journey Builder Bootcamp. Yep, so under, yep, and then one more folder right below it. Yep. So let's click in there. And let's just take a look at these records. Okay, so you have come in the journey, so that all looks good, timestamped and everything. That looks good. Let's go back to the journey, see if anything has changed on that end. Yep, one accepted. Let's try refreshing the screen. Let's see if that worked. And then these emails should go to your Gmail address if that all looks correct. But that'll just take a minute as it's in the wait step. Any questions, Amit, on this build?
No, I already asked a couple of questions.
Okay, cool.
So Tim, do we have any session for like that postman section? So how can we trigger those test journeys?
Yeah, we've done Postman before. Let me find in YouTube.
I mean, have you done in this bootcamp or in the previous one?
We've done it in the boot camps where we've set somebody up in Postman. So I'll post the link to the video. It was the earlier hands-on session. I think it was with Lakshmi.
Okay, then I will figure out. She has done a couple of weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, I'll see. I think it was this one, session 7. All right, let's refresh the journey and see if we've had any progress. See where your record's gone through. If you refresh the screen, it might just take a second to refresh. Yeah. Okay, working through, going through there. You might receive an email any minute now. And then we'll just wait a minute so that we can see that decision split work. It should hopefully move you down to that center path because that your value in that data extension was yes. And then you should hopefully receive the second email for that.
So Tim, my question is, so this is the only way to test journeys, or is there any other way as well?
That's a good question. There are test features within Journey Builder. You can test different functionality using test records, but it is kind of spotty. So you typically want, if you have an environment where you have a test environment where you have to create build a separate business unit and, build all that functionality. So ideally you'd want to build this in your test environment, make sure it's all perfect, work out all the kinks. And then you have to just, you can move it over into the production environment using Package Manager, or you might just have to rebuild it in the production environment. We have steps in place like that. Decision split is set so that it only brings over test records. So for instance, if you when you were working at L'Oreal, you could have when you're standing up a journey that you're testing in the production environment, you could have the decision split say that I only want to accept emails with a domain of L'Oreal.com.
Okay.
So that helps you, prevent any live people coming in and all of that. Okay, let's hit refresh one more time. Let's see if we have some success with that decision split. Yeah, cool. Went down that decision split based on the data that we set up. So you should receive both of those emails, Amit, and that basically, is the abandoned cart email. There's a lot more that we could cover. We have a couple more sessions, one on improving the email table, making it look really pretty. We could set up an automation that updates this data extension on a regular basis. So we could test sending you in, Amit, so that you receive the email one and then update that data extension so it says no, so that you don't receive it, and test that. We could create test scripts. So there's a lot there we could do, but this was our third session on the abandoned cart email and sort of completes the build. So thank you for working through this. Nicely done. Any questions before we break?
My last question. So you have whitelisted my email. So it's a part of that admin thing. Is that right? So I can receive emails. Whitelisted or seedless something.
Yeah, it should work. I think we created you as a contact in our Salesforce CRM environment with your Gmail address.
Okay.
So I think it should send, but ping me if it doesn't. We can take a look at it. If it doesn't get sent. Okay, awesome. Well, Amit, thank you so much for volunteering. This will be up on YouTube probably in a week or two, and look forward to working with you in the future at some point.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.